I just had a great idea.
Yeah?
Themed episodes.
I love it!
But what should the theme be? Good morning. So I was thinking about all the episodes I've made so far, all 3 of them, and I realized that most of them are either about Americans or take place in America. As an American myself, I've very much been ignoring the rest of the world, which is an unfortunately very easy thing to do. And so to help correct that, the first of many themed episodes of SwendooG is going to be International Good News. I mean, there's so much good news out there that I could be ignoring. After all, there's an entire rest of the world out there. So our first story is about an elderly woman in Singapore whose hobbies include breaking stereotypes and shredding on the guitar. 81-year-old Mary Ho always wanted to play the guitar, even though she would have to wait until she was 60, and even though Mary started with self-taught lessons, her abilities on the guitar have gotten to the point where she's now going to be performing in the Singapore National Day Parade. The reason why she had to begin self-taught is because she couldn't find anyone who would teach her at that age. So she began practicing by herself for 3 hours a day, every day, until she got to the point where she started performing for small charity events, and now in front of 27,000 people in Singapore's National Day Parade. Man, it never really is too late to follow your dreams. I mean, I'm only 21 and I'm already stressing out about making the wrong career paths and dooming my life. And here this lady is at 81, becoming famous and living her dreams. Rock on, Grandma! Our next story then is about the citizens of Baghdad who want to show the rest of the world a side of their city that most people don't think about. I for one can attest that a lot of Americans only think of destruction and death and violence when they even so much as hear the word Iraq. And yeah, those things do exist, but like any other country, Iraq is full of a bunch of people who just want to be happy, live their lives, and find their way in the world like everyone else. Like literally everyone else. Well, after being ranked the #1 worst city to live in by Mercer.com, the people of Baghdad decided to put together a kite festival to put on display all of the good that both the people and the country has. The festival got over 1,000 attendees and flew over 350 kites. Not much else to say here, just a simple quick story of people wanting to show you a different side of a location you probably don't think about much. Which is important to do often. You might just learn that even if you don't like another country, the people who live there are still just people. Finally, story 3 then is about a man in Brazil who wants to fight deforestation by making his own forest. In 1973, Antonio Vicente bought his own 77-acre stretch of land in Sao Paulo to do nothing but plant trees and other plants inside of it, and all his neighbors called him crazy for it. For you see, at that time Brazil's government gave lots of subsidies to wealthy farmers to employ lots of, unhelpful farming techniques. This meant the destructions of trees and forests to make plenty of room for planting crop and making sure you have pastures for your livestock. Well, what do you know, without trees the soil dried up, turned into sand, there's no more water, everyone's They were pretty much up creek without a paddle. And just for you, I decided not to illustrate that phrase. You're welcome. Anyway, 44 years later, and Antonio has estimated that he has planted around over 50,000 trees. His own property has turned into its own veritable forest. And look at it! It's absolutely gorgeous! It's beautiful! With all the conscious efforts out there to stop deforestation and bring back rainforests, I think it's important to look to Antonio for both inspiration and the right way to do it. Because you can protest big businesses and make as many signs as you want, but a lot of times, you just gotta go out and do it. I mean, Antonio is certainly not gonna save the world by himself, but at least he's done something. I didn't do it for money. I did it because when I die, what's here will remain for everyone. People don't call me crazy anymore. And that'll do it for this episode of SwendooG. You know, I noticed that I don't get a lot of views immediately when I put the video up, so in the little comment section down below, tell me when I should put these videos up. I chose 8 AM just because that's around a good time for me personally, but if I should be uploading these earlier or later for your convenience, let me know. And as always, have a good day.